Have you ever seen an artist walk onto a stage and within seconds, thousands of people completely forget how to breathe? Not because of fireworks, not because of special effects, but because one person's presence alone feels larger than the entire stadium. That's what happened in Las Vegas when Jin returned for the second night of the BTS World Tour Arirang at Allegiant Stadium. And what unfolded that night didn't feel like a normal concert anymore. It felt like witnessing a living phenomenon. The moment Jin appeared on stage, the noise inside the stadium became almost unbelievable. Fans screamed so loudly that the entire arena seemed to shake. You could see people covering their mouths in shock, crying before the first song even fully started, desperately trying to record the moment while also trying to survive it emotionally. Because this wasn't just excitement. This was the kind of reaction people have when someone they deeply love finally appears in front of them after living for years through screens, photos, fan cams, and memories. And somehow, Jin exceeded every expectation. From the very first note, fans instantly realized something important. His vocals were perfect. Not good, not stable, perfect. Every live note sounded clean, emotional, effortless, and unbelievably controlled. Even during difficult choreography, Jin's voice remained steady in a way that left fans staring at each other in disbelief. People online immediately started posting things like, "How is he sounding better every year? Is he even human? This man sings like the CD is afraid of him." And honestly, that reaction makes complete sense, because there's something different about Jin's voice now. It carries experience, confidence, emotion, pain, warmth. You can hear the years inside it. And then there were the visuals. Honestly, the cameras were struggling. Every close-up looked unreal. Every smile caused chaos online instantly. Every expression became screenshot material within seconds. Fans couldn't stop talking about how Jin somehow looked both unbelievably handsome and emotionally soft at the same time. One second he looked like a movie star dominating the stage with overwhelming charisma, and the next second he'd smile shyly at the audience, making thousands of hearts collapse simultaneously. That duality is exactly why people can't look away from him. And Las Vegas noticed. Again, years ago, during BTS's legendary concerts in the city, something happened that fans still talk about today. The official TripAdvisor account jokingly transformed Las Vegas from Sin City into Jin City, because Jin's popularity had become impossible to ignore. Think about that for a second. Las Vegas, one of the most famous entertainment cities in the entire world, was being rebranded by fans because one idol's impact felt bigger than the city itself. Even the official Las Vegas tourism account joined in, saying they hoped the city could shine as brightly as Jin. And after this latest concert, that nickname somehow feels even more accurate now. Because Jin didn't just perform in Las Vegas, he conquered it. The stages that night felt like emotional whiplash in the best possible way. When Spinebreaker started, the energy inside the stadium exploded instantly. Fans jumped, screamed, danced, and sang every lyric like their lives depended on it. Jin looked completely free on stage, playful, powerful, and fully enjoying every second of the moment. Then suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. Black Swan began, and the entire stadium transformed into something hauntingly beautiful. The lighting darkened, the emotions deepened, and Jin's expressions became absolutely mesmerizing. There's something about Jin during emotional performances that hits differently. He doesn't just sing the lyrics, he makes you feel them. Every movement looked elegant and dramatic, almost like watching a film unfold live in front of thousands of people. Fans online later said they felt chills watching him. Others admitted they cried. And honestly, it wasn't hard to understand why. Because Jin has this rare ability to make gigantic stadiums feel strangely intimate. Even with tens of thousands of people present, it somehow feels like he's personally singing to you. But then came the moment nobody was prepared for. During the Dynamite dance break, Jin suddenly executed a figure skating-inspired double axel move that sent the audience into absolute chaos. The screams became deafening. Phones shot into the air. People literally jumped out of their seats. And social media exploded almost immediately. Clips spread across X at terrifying speed as fans replayed the moment over and over again in disbelief. Because somehow, after all these years in the spotlight, Jin is still finding new ways to surprise people. And that's part of what makes him so addictive to watch. You think you know what he's going to do. And then suddenly he does something that reminds everyone why he remains one of the most magnetic performers in the world. But what touched fans most that night wasn't only the performance itself. It was Jin's behavior, his personality, the little moments. At one point, before spraying water toward the audience, Jin actually paused to ask for permission first. And weirdly enough, that tiny interaction became one of the most emotional moments of the night for fans online. Because it reminded everyone that beneath the superstar image, Jin is still incredibly thoughtful and considerate. Even during a massive stadium concert, he was paying attention to how fans might feel. That level of care matters to people, especially in moments this large. Then later, after returning to the stage, Jin politely put his hands together before handing out fresh towels to fans near the barricade. It wasn't done in a flashy celebrity way. It felt genuine, warm, almost humble, and fans noticed every detail. Because with Jin, people don't just pay attention to the huge moments. They pay attention to the small kindnesses too. And somehow, those small moments often become the most unforgettable. But make no mistake, Jin also radiated pure superstar charisma that night. At one point, he high-fived all the dancers around him before confidently carrying a massive flag across the stage like a victorious icon celebrating the end of an unforgettable show. The crowd completely lost their minds. The confidence, the posture, the visuals, the energy. It felt cinematic, like the final scene of a blockbuster movie where the hero knows he has completely won over the audience. And honestly, he had. By the time the concert ended, social media had already exploded into chaos. Jin instantly climbed real-time trends. Vegas showman Jin began spreading across the United States and multiple countries. Fans who attended the concert flooded the internet with emotional posts saying things like, "I'll never recover from this night. He looked unreal in person. Jin doesn't perform, he casts spells." And then came the merch madness. The jersey t-shirt Jin wore sold out almost immediately after fans spotted it. But what truly shocked everyone? The Sesame Street Elmo t-shirt. The second fans realized Jin had worn it, people rushed to buy it so quickly that it vanished from the official sales site at lightning speed. And honestly, moments like this reveal how enormous Jin's influence has become, because he doesn't just wear clothes, he transforms them into emotional symbols. Fans don't buy those items simply because they look nice. They buy them because they want to hold on to a piece of the feeling Jin gave them that night. That's the real power he has. Emotional impact. And maybe that's why Jin's concerts feel so different lately. Yes, the vocals are incredible. Yes, the visuals are legendary. Yes, the performances are unforgettable. But beneath all of that, there's something deeper happening. People feel comforted by him, inspired by him, safe with him, happy because of him. And in today's world, creating that kind of emotional connection with millions of people may be the rarest talent of all. By the end of the night, Allegiant Stadium no longer felt like just another tour stop. It felt like history. A place where thousands of people laughed, cried, screamed, sang, and shared one unforgettable experience together under Jin's light. And maybe that's why Jin City no longer sounds like a joke anymore. Because for one unforgettable night in Las Vegas, the entire city truly belonged to him.